God says, it's finally over. Your soulmate said goodbye for. Listen carefully, for these are not ordinary words, this is a message wrapped in the breath of heaven. God says, it's finally over, the storm you kept fighting in silence has reached its last day. The endless nights of waiting, the countless moments of doubt, the unanswered questions that pressed against your heart, they have been brought to their conclusion. Heaven has drawn a line, and what once felt like an endless cycle has now been broken. Your soulmate, the one you thought you had lost forever, whispered goodbye in the silence of yesterday, not to abandon you, but to release you into a greater love written by God Himself. That goodbye was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of a chapter where you finally discover what true divine connection feels like. The tears you cried, the memories you carried, the weight of what was unfinished, all of it is being lifted now. You are being untied from the chains of the past, and God is pressing your soul forward into the embrace of something far greater than you imagined. Stay with these words till the end, because what is being revealed is not for everyone, it is for you, chosen child of heaven. Your soulmate's goodbye is not rejection, it is a sacred passing of the torch, a sign that someone else, sent directly from God, is preparing to walk into your life. One who will not turn away, one who will not leave, one whose presence will not fade with time. Heaven is rearranging the pieces, pulling together the storylines, and orchestrating a love that will not collapse under pressure. You thought the goodbye was the sound of loss, but heaven says it is the sound of release. Release from disappointment, release from delay, release from every illusion that was stealing your peace. And now, in this very moment, God says, lift your eyes, for the one aligned with your spirit, the one who carries the key to your destiny, is being drawn to you. Not tomorrow, not years away, but now. The winds are shifting, the timing is perfect, the door is opening. So do not take these words lightly. God has spoken, it's finally over. The goodbye you thought was an ending is actually heaven's way of preparing you for the miracle of new love that cannot be shaken. This is not fantasy, this is destiny, and it has your name written in fire. Listen closely, because what I am about to reveal is not random, it is your turning point. God says, the chapter that has drained your strength has been sealed shut. No more silent tears at night, no more carrying the weight of unspoken words. Your soulmate's goodbye was not to break you, but to release you into the higher love that was always destined for you. Heaven never closes one door without opening another that shines brighter than the last. Stay here till the end, because this message was carved only for your spirit. The voice of God is echoing, your waiting season is finished. The battles that once consumed your heart have already been fought in the unseen, and the victory has been written in your name. That goodbye you heard, it was not betrayal, it was preparation. Preparation for the divine connection that will not leave, will not disappoint, and will not fade with time. You must understand this, heaven never wastes your pain. Every tear you shed became a seed planted in sacred soil, and now, the harvest of joy is about to rise before your eyes. The one who will stand beside you is closer than you imagine, carrying the strength to hold your hand through storms, and the courage to protect your soul with unshakable devotion. This is why you cannot scroll away. If you stay until the end, you will feel it, you will know that this message has pierced through the noise of the world just to find you. God says, it's finally over. The goodbye was the ending you thought you could not survive, but in truth, it was heaven clearing the path for a love that is eternal, fearless, and unstoppable. Mark this moment, because you are stepping into it now. A goodbye has turned into your greatest beginning. God is whispering directly into your soul right now. Do not move, do not rush, stay until the final word. Because what is unfolding in this very moment is for your heart alone. It's finally over, the endless cycle of holding on to someone who was never meant to complete your destiny. That goodbye you thought would destroy you has actually set you free, like chains breaking in the silence of midnight. Stay here till the end, because heaven is shifting your story even as these words are spoken. Your soulmate's goodbye was not rejection, it was a divine signal that the love written by God Himself is stepping onto the stage of your life. Someone is already being aligned with your journey, someone who carries not just affection but purpose, someone who has been molded through fire to match the rhythm of your soul. Do you feel it? The heaviness is lifting. The weight on your chest that no one else could see is dissolving, because God says your waiting is finished. The battles you cried through, the nights you thought were endless, the questions that circled your mind, all of it is being silenced by this truth. Heaven never subtracts without multiplying. That goodbye was heaven's yes. It was the divine permission for your heart to rise higher, to no longer be tied to the shadows of what could have been. And now, the one who is meant to walk with you is closer than your next breath. Not a ghost of the past, not an echo of old pain, but a living, breathing promise of joy, peace, and unwavering loyalty. So stay, remain here until the final word, because your life is turning even as you listen. God has declared, it's finally over. The goodbye is not your loss, it is your release into the beginning of the greatest love story heaven has ever written in your name. Listen carefully, because heaven is still speaking, and this moment is not by accident. God says, what once held you captive has been broken forever. It's finally over, the endless waiting, the unanswered calls of your heart, the ache of goodbye that echoed louder than anything else. Heaven is rewriting your story in real time, and you must stay here until the end to hear it all. Your soulmate's goodbye was not to crush your spirit but to awaken it. It was the final curtain on a season that could no longer serve your destiny. That goodbye was heaven's way of clearing space, because the one who is meant for you carries a different light, a fire that will never burn out, and a loyalty that time cannot destroy. Do not move away from these words. Right now, as you listen, the shift is already taking place. The heaviness that pressed against your chest is melting away. The questions that chased you at night are losing their power. And the loneliness you thought would never leave is being replaced with a calm assurance. You were never abandoned, you were being positioned. The truth is, heaven saw every tear you hid, every smile you faked, every moment you carried pain in silence. And now, God says enough. Enough of pretending, enough of waiting, enough of holding on to what was never meant to last. The goodbye was not your ending, it was your permission to begin again. So remain here until the final word, because what comes next will leave you in awe. The one who is meant to love you is not coming with uncertainty or half-hearted promises. They are coming with divine clarity, with strength, and with a heart that beats in rhythm with yours. Heaven has aligned this love, and nothing will be able to take it away. God says, it's finally over. The goodbye you thought would break you is the very moment that released you into the miracle of love that has been waiting for you all along. Do not look away, because this moment carries the power to change everything inside you. God says, it's finally over, the cycle of holding on to broken promises has ended. You thought that goodbye from your soulmate was the sound of loss, but heaven reveals it was the sound of freedom. A freedom you did not ask for, but a freedom you needed to step into the future God has already prepared. Stay until the end, because these words are not empty, they are alive, they are divine, they are meant to unlock something in your heart right now. That goodbye was not abandonment, it was alignment. Alignment for the person who will not just walk into your life, but stay. Alignment for a love that is not fragile, not temporary, but eternal in its roots. You have carried scars, you have carried silence, you have carried questions that no one else could answer. But heaven saw it all. Every tear that slid down unnoticed, every prayer you whispered in the dark, every time you thought you were forgotten, God was listening. And now He says, enough. Enough of delay, enough of pain, enough of what was never meant for you. This is why you cannot scroll away. Right now, a new door is opening in your destiny. The one who is stepping toward you is not carrying half love or half truths, they are carrying the kind of love that mirrors God's promise. Pure, unshakable, and everlasting. This is the divine exchange. The goodbye you thought destroyed you has become the gateway to the greatest connection of your life. So hold on to these words until the final line, because heaven is declaring, your waiting is over. The goodbye was never the end, it was the sign that the miracle has already begun. Stay right here, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary, it was designed only for you. God says, it's finally over. The chains of yesterday, the endless waiting, the heartbreak that tried to silence your spirit, none of it holds power anymore. That goodbye you carried like a wound was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to release you into the life heaven has been building in secret. Do not move, because these words are timed perfectly. The goodbye of your soulmate was not an ending, it was the breaking of an illusion. You thought it was the last page, but God has written a whole new chapter dripping with promise. The love that is approaching is not fragile, it will not drift away, it will not leave you guessing. This love is steady, chosen, unshakable. Every silent cry you whispered in the dark, every moment you thought you were left behind, heaven recorded it all. God says, I never ignored you, I was aligning everything for this very season. The tears you shed watered the ground of your destiny, and now the flowers of joy are breaking through the soil. Stay till the last word, because this is not coincidence, it is divine arrangement. The one meant for you has already felt the stirring in their spirit. They are being drawn, step by step, closer to your life. You will not have to chase, you will not have to beg, you will not have to question. This time, love will find you, hold you, and protect you with the strength of eternity. So hear heaven clearly, it's finally over. That goodbye was the door closing on your pain, and the door opening to your promise. This is not the end of your story, it is the grand beginning heaven has been waiting to reveal. Do not scroll away, because this moment has been waiting for you. God says, it's finally over, the waiting, the tears, the pain you carried in silence when no one else could understand. That goodbye you thought was the sound of loss was in truth the sound of heaven opening a new path before you. Stay until the very end, because what is being spoken now is the answer to questions you never dared to ask out loud. The goodbye of your soulmate was not your defeat, it was your release. A release into something greater, purer, and eternal. It was heaven's way of telling you, I have something better for you, and it begins now. Every hidden cry, every secret ache, every moment your heart longed for something real has been gathered by God. Nothing was wasted. He watched over every broken piece, and now he says, enough of the old story. The season that kept you bound has ended. The page has turned. And what comes next will not vanish, will not fail, will not disappoint. Do you feel it? Even now, the weight on your chest is lifting. The silence that once felt unbearable is being filled with the sound of destiny. The one aligned with your soul is moving closer, not in months, not in years, but in this very appointed time. And when they arrive, you will not question, you will not doubt, because their presence will carry peace your heart has been starving for. So remain right here until the final word. God declares, the goodbye you feared was not the end of love, it was the doorway to love that will last forever. You are not stepping into emptiness, you are stepping into the miracle that has carried your name since the beginning of time. Do not look away, because what you are hearing right now is not random, it is heaven itself reaching into your life. God says, it's finally over. The endless cycle of waiting, the pain of unanswered prayers, the goodbye that felt like a knife through your soul, all of it has reached its finish line. What once kept you bound has no hold over you anymore. Stay here until the very last word, because the message unfolding is not for the crowd, it is only for you. That goodbye from your soulmate, the one that shattered your heart, was never meant to end your story. It was heaven's hidden signal that the true connection, the one written into your destiny, is finally being released. Every silent tear you shed was collected, every sleepless night was seen, every hidden ache was recorded by God Himself. He says, not one moment of your pain was wasted. It was shaping you, preparing you, aligning you for the love that cannot be shaken. And now, heaven is whispering, the one who will stand beside you forever is closer than you imagine. Can you sense it? The atmosphere around you is shifting. The heavy silence is breaking. The loneliness is being exchanged for peace. The goodbye was not a loss, it was a release. Release into joy, into stability, into a love that mirrors the eternal. So remain until the end. Do not move away, because this word carries your breakthrough. God has spoken, it's finally over. The goodbye that once felt like the end has become your entrance into a beginning so divine, it will leave you in awe. Listen closely, because what you are about to hear has been sent directly for your heart. God says, it's finally over. The nights you thought would never end, the heaviness you carried like a shadow, the goodbye that echoed in your spirit, it has all been silenced by heaven's decree. You are not standing in loss anymore, you are standing in transition. Stay until the final word, because this moment is not a coincidence. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the collapse of your story, it was the key that unlocked your release. Heaven saw the weight of what you carried, and in mercy, heaven said, enough. The goodbye was not rejection, it was protection. It was God pulling you away from what could never match the greatness of what He is about to give you. Every unanswered question is being answered now. Every tear that stained your pillow has watered the ground of your miracle. And today, God says, the harvest is ready. A new chapter is unfolding, and the one written into your destiny is already being drawn toward you. This love will not fade, it will not betray, it will not break. It will stand with you, through storms and through seasons, because it has been chosen by heaven itself. Can you feel it? Even now, your spirit knows these words are not empty. The silence that once haunted you is breaking, and the sound of promise is taking its place. The goodbye you thought was the end has become the beginning you never saw coming. So do not move away from this moment. God is declaring, it's finally over. The pain is behind you, the new has already begun, and your story is about to shine brighter than ever before. Do not look away, because what you are hearing now is the very message your soul has been waiting for. God says, it's finally over. The chapter of endless pain, the weight of unanswered prayers, the sting of goodbye that pierced your heart, all of it has been sealed in the past. Today marks the moment heaven writes a new beginning for you. Stay here until the very last word, because this is not a story for everyone, this is the revelation meant only for you. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the end of love in your life. It was heaven's secret signal that the wrong doors have been closed, and the right door is opening at last. Every lonely night you endured was seen, every silent cry was heard, every broken prayer was answered long before you spoke it. And now God declares, the waiting is finished. The tears have written your testimony, and the testimony will become your victory. The goodbye you thought would leave you shattered was the very act that has aligned you with destiny. Can you sense it? Something is already shifting inside of you. The heaviness is lifting, the silence is breaking, and the emptiness is being replaced with peace. Heaven is sending someone into your life whose presence will not disappear, whose love will not grow cold, and whose devotion will not fade with time. This is the love that was written in eternity with your name carved into it. So remain here, do not scroll, because this word is alive and it belongs to you. God has spoken, it's finally over. The goodbye is no longer your burden, it is the doorway to the miracle that is about to unfold before your eyes. Stay exactly where you are, because this message has been written in heaven with your name on it. God says, it's finally over. The heavy silence, the endless waiting, the heartbreak that felt like it would never heal, all of it has reached its finish. Heaven has stepped in to close the chapter that once held you down. Do not move away, because what you are about to hear carries the answer you've been searching for. That goodbye from your soulmate, the one that left your heart trembling, was never the end. It was the divine sign that your destiny is too great to be chained to what could not last. The goodbye was not punishment, it was protection. It was God clearing the path for something greater than you dared to imagine. Every hidden tear, every moment of loneliness, every whispered prayer in the middle of the night, heaven gathered them all. And now God says, enough. Your pain has been seen, your cries have been heard, and your release has been granted. The season of emptiness is gone, and the season of divine fulfillment is here. Listen carefully, because love is already on its way to you. A love that will not vanish when storms come, a love that will not betray when life becomes heavy, a love that will not fade with time. This love has been prepared in eternity, and now it is walking directly into your life. So stay until the very end, because this word was not given by chance. God declares, it's finally over. The goodbye you thought broke you has become the very door through which your miracle will enter. This is the beginning of a story that will not end in pain but will overflow with joy written by heaven itself. Do not scroll away, because this moment is too precise to ignore. God says, it's finally over. The endless waiting that drained your soul, the goodbye that echoed louder than your heartbeat, the memories that refused to fade, all of it has reached its ending. Heaven has drawn the line, and your story is no longer bound to what once broke you. Stay here until the last word, because this is not an accident, it is heaven's timing. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the destruction of your destiny, it was the protection of it. It was heaven saying, what is not eternal cannot stay, because what is eternal is on its way. Every cry that fell in silence, every ache you buried in your chest, every night you thought you were forgotten, God was watching. None of it was wasted. The tears became seeds, and now, the harvest is ready. What is stepping into your life is not fragile affection, it is divine connection. A love that will not abandon, a love that will not falter, a love that was carved in eternity with your name written into its foundation. Even now, as these words reach you, something in your spirit is shifting. The heaviness is being lifted, the shadows are dissolving, and the peace of God is wrapping itself around your heart. The goodbye you once feared has become your greatest release. Release into joy, into clarity, into a future where love does not hurt, but heals. So remain right here until the final line. God declares, it's finally over. The goodbye was not your ending, it was the first step into your miracle. And now, the beginning you never imagined is rising in front of you. Do not move, because this message is flowing straight from heaven into your life. God says, it's finally over. The waiting that stretched like endless nights, the tears that burned but no one saw, the goodbye that shattered your soul, it has all reached its end. You are no longer standing in the shadows of what broke you, you are standing on the threshold of what will heal you. Stay until the last word, because this is not random, this is divine timing. That goodbye from your soulmate was never meant to bury you, it was meant to free you. It was heaven whispering, the story you thought was finished was only the preparation for the miracle about to begin. Every moment of emptiness you carried in silence was seen by God. Every night you asked, why, was answered long before you spoke it. And now heaven says, enough of the sorrow, enough of the delay, enough of living with wounds that refuse to close. The season of endings has finished, and the season of beginnings has arrived. Even as you hear this, the atmosphere around you is shifting. The weight on your chest is lifting. The silence that haunted you is breaking, replaced with the sound of divine alignment. Someone chosen, someone destined, someone whose soul was written to match yours is already being drawn toward your life. They are not coming with uncertainty, they are coming with a love that will anchor you, protect you, and walk with you into eternity. So remain here until the final line, because this moment carries your release. God has spoken, it's finally over. The goodbye you feared was never the end, it was the divine sign that your miracle is closer than you think. Do not scroll, because this moment has been waiting for you since the beginning of your journey. God says, it's finally over. The pain that followed you like a shadow, the unanswered questions that haunted your nights, the goodbye that felt heavier than your own heartbeat, all of it has been broken by heaven's hand. What once felt like the end has been rewritten as the beginning of your miracle. Stay with me until the very last word, because this is not coincidence, it is divine alignment. That goodbye from your soulmate was not meant to destroy your spirit, it was the release your soul needed. Heaven saw the weight you carried and whispered, let go of what cannot stay, because what is eternal is already on its way. Every hidden tear has watered your promise. Every silent cry has paved the path for your breakthrough. And now God says, no more waiting, no more delay, no more wondering if love was ever meant for you. What is coming will not leave you confused, it will not walk away when storms rise, it will not vanish when life becomes heavy. This time, it is divine. Even now, the air around you is shifting. The silence is breaking, the sorrow is dissolving, and peace is entering your heart like a river. The one chosen for you, the one destined to walk with you, is already being drawn closer step by step. Their arrival will not feel forced, it will feel inevitable, like two pieces of eternity finding their place. So remain right here until the end. God declares, it's finally over. That goodbye was not your downfall, it was heaven's greatest setup. And now, the miracle written in your name is unfolding before your eyes. Stay right here, because this is not just another message, this is the answer your soul has been waiting for. God says, it's finally over. The season of heartbreak that tried to drown you, the goodbye that echoed like thunder in your spirit, the weight of emptiness that followed you through the nights, it has all come to an end. Heaven has stepped in, and the story is shifting right before your eyes. Do not move away, because every word is carrying your breakthrough. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the final chapter, it was the turning of the page. It was heaven's way of closing what could never carry you forward, and opening the door to what was chosen for you before time began. Every hidden ache you carried was not ignored. Every silent cry was collected. Every prayer you thought was forgotten was written in heaven's book. And now God whispers, enough. The tears have done their work. The pain has served its purpose. You are not standing in loss, you are stepping into promise. Can you feel it? Even now, something inside you knows these words are true. The heaviness is being lifted. The silence is being filled with peace. And love, real love, divine love, is being drawn closer to your life. A love that will not betray, will not abandon, will not fade. A love that will reflect God's own faithfulness in human form. So remain until the last word, because this is not chance. God declares, it's finally over. The goodbye that once broke you has become the very doorway into joy, into destiny, into the miracle that carries your name. Do not look away, because this moment is too important for you to miss. God says, it's finally over. The chapter of tears, the endless waiting, the goodbye that haunted your soul, it has all been closed by heaven's hand. What once felt like the end of everything has been rewritten as the doorway to something greater than you can imagine. Stay here until the very last word, because this message carries your release. That goodbye from your soulmate, the one that left you trembling inside, was not meant to break you. It was heaven's way of protecting you from what could never sustain your destiny. It was the voice of God saying, "I have something higher, purer, and eternal waiting for you." Every night you carried pain in silence, every time you asked why, every time you wondered if love would ever be safe, God was listening. None of your cries were ignored. Each one became a seed planted in the soil of heaven, and now the harvest is breaking through. The pain is finished. The waiting is over. The shift has already begun. Right now, even as you hear these words, the atmosphere around you is changing. The loneliness is being lifted. The sorrow is dissolving. A peace you have never felt before is wrapping around your spirit. And soon, the one chosen for you, the one destined to walk with you, will step into your life. They will not bring confusion, they will not bring uncertainty, they will not bring betrayal. They will bring clarity, stability, and a love that feels like home. So remain until the final line. Do not rush away, because this is the word heaven sent for you. God declares, it's finally over. The goodbye that once felt like loss is now the doorway into joy, into destiny, into the miracle that was waiting for you all along. Stay right here, because what you are hearing is not ordinary, it is heaven's message written with your name. God says, it's finally over. The heartbreak that weighed on your chest, the goodbye that felt like the end of everything, the silence that kept you questioning, all of it has been broken. The season of carrying pain in secret has ended, and the season of stepping into promise has begun. Do not move away, because this is too precise to ignore. That goodbye from your soulmate was never your downfall, it was heaven's setup. Heaven needed to release you from what could not remain, to prepare you for what was chosen to last forever. That goodbye was not punishment, it was protection. Protection from delays, from heartbreaks, from living beneath the life written for you. Every tear you shed has been counted, every prayer you whispered was heard, and every lonely night was recorded in heaven's book. God says, not a single moment of your pain was wasted. It was the soil that is now bringing forth your miracle. The door that closed in front of you has already unlocked another door, brighter, greater, unshakable. Even now, the shift has begun. The heaviness on your shoulders is being lifted. The questions in your mind are being silenced. And the love destined for you, the one who will stand, not run, the one who will protect, not betray, is moving closer every moment. This is not imagination, this is alignment. So remain until the last word, because this is your sign. God declares, it's finally over. The goodbye that once broke you has become the bridge into your greatest beginning. What you thought was the end of your story was only heaven preparing to write the chapter you were always meant to live. Do not look away, because these words are arriving at the exact moment you need them. God says, it's finally over. The heartbreak that once felt endless, the goodbye that left you broken, the nights that swallowed your peace, it all ends here. The heavens have spoken, and your story is no longer tied to the pain of yesterday. Stay until the very end, because this is not a random message, it is destiny chasing you down. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the end you feared, it was the release you needed. Heaven knew that what left could not carry the weight of your future. It had to move aside so that what was eternal, what was written, what was chosen, could finally step into your life. Every tear you thought was unseen was a seed planted in the soil of your miracle. Every sleepless night was shaping your spirit for the love that is coming. And now God whispers, the waiting has ended, the delay is finished, and the promise is arriving. The one chosen for you is not bringing confusion, but clarity. Not betrayal, but loyalty. Not emptiness, but fullness. Even now, something in your spirit knows this is true. The heaviness is lifting. The silence is breaking. A peace you cannot explain is settling over you, because heaven has already written the next part of your story. You are not stepping into another season of pain, you are stepping into the miracle that carries your name. So remain right here until the last line. God has declared, it's finally over. The goodbye you thought would destroy you has become the door to a love that will heal you forever. Stay with me, because this moment is not ordinary, it was written for you. God says, it's finally over. The sleepless nights, the tears no one saw, the goodbye that cut through your soul, it has all reached its end. The pages of pain have been closed, and heaven has opened the chapter of your promise. Do not move away, because this message carries the very shift your spirit has been waiting for. That goodbye from your soulmate was not your defeat, it was your release. Heaven did not allow it to end because you were unworthy, it ended because your destiny is too precious to remain tied to what could not carry it. Every prayer you whispered was heard. Every silent ache was seen. Every moment you felt abandoned was answered by heaven's love surrounding you. And now God declares, no more delays. No more waiting. No more wondering if your story ends in sorrow. The time of restoration has begun. Even now, your atmosphere is changing. The heaviness you carried is falling away. The loneliness that haunted you is breaking. And what is coming toward you is not half-hearted, not temporary, not fragile, it is divine. A love crafted by God's own hands, strong enough to hold your soul and pure enough to last forever. So remain here until the final word, because this is not coincidence, it is your confirmation. God says, it's finally over. That goodbye was not the end of your life, it was the opening of the greatest miracle you have ever seen. Do not scroll, because these words are not reaching you by chance, they are sent for you in this exact moment. God says, it's finally over. The weight that held your spirit down, the goodbye that echoed in your heart like thunder, the nights where you wondered if joy would ever return, all of it has been broken. Heaven has closed the old chapter, and a new story has already begun. Stay right here until the very last word, because this is not random, it is the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. That goodbye from your soulmate was never your end, it was the divine turning point. Heaven had to clear what could not remain, so that what is eternal, what is pure, what is chosen could finally arrive. Every tear you shed was not wasted. Every moment you felt forgotten was heaven preparing the stage. God whispers, I have seen your pain, I have measured your silence, and I have turned your sorrow into the seed of your breakthrough. The goodbye you feared was not a loss, it was a release into something greater than you ever imagined. Even now, you can feel it. The heaviness is leaving. The air around you is lighter. The storm inside your heart is calming. And the one destined for you, the one who will stand through fire, through storms, through time, is already being drawn to your life. This connection is not weak, it is not uncertain, it is not temporary. It is the kind of love heaven protects, the kind of love that endures. So stay until the end, because this moment is sacred. God has spoken, it's finally over. That goodbye was not the ending of your story, it was heaven's greatest setup for the miracle that now carries your name. Do not look away, because these words are arriving at the exact moment your heart needed them. God says, it's finally over. The long nights of silence, the heaviness you carried in secret, the goodbye that felt like it tore your soul apart, it has all reached its end. Heaven has stepped in and declared, your story is shifting today. Stay here until the very last word, because this is not coincidence, it is divine timing. That goodbye from your soulmate was not the collapse of your destiny, it was the release your spirit needed. It was heaven whispering, I have more for you than what you lost. Every tear you thought no one saw was noticed. Every prayer you whispered into the dark was answered before you finished speaking it. And now God says, enough of the pain, enough of the waiting, enough of living in shadows. The goodbye you feared has become the very sign that love, real love, is stepping into your path. Even now, something inside you knows this is true. The atmosphere is lighter. The ache in your chest is fading. The sorrow that followed you is dissolving. And soon, the one chosen for you, the one who will not walk away, the one who will not betray, is drawing closer with every passing moment. This time, you will not have to question. This time, you will not have to beg. This time, you will know. So remain until the end, because heaven is declaring this word directly over your life, it's finally over. The goodbye that once felt like loss has been rewritten as the doorway to your miracle. The ending you feared has become the beginning you were always promised.